Online retail, and online is online, and the perceptions wherever you are the same. So whether it be internally and externally. So the teams, they're the same. We still have the same fights between a design and a development team. A CMS is a CMS. We build CMSs to publish content to sell advertising. Now we're building CMSs now we're going to add in content, but basically to publish products and to do direct sales, but it's no different. Usability is still key, and still the most forgotten thing. Testing is real. Variant testing is a good thing to do. A/B testing is a good thing to do. And test your customer journey before you go and put it there. And the same rules still apply. So content adaptability to multiple platforms, integration of different departments, and optimization of the products that you're putting online. And then all I've got has gone from being a big talker about multi-platform publishing to being a big talker about multi-channel delivery. But it's the same thing. When you market things like food and those types of products online, you're basically speaking to an early adoption audience. People are used to doing things online, so you're not necessarily trying to educate someone, you're just trying to grow something. When we're trying to market to our customers, our clothing and general merchandise to customers, it's different. We've got to take those customers from being in store to bringing them online. And this is where the content thing comes into play. Because you've got to find every means necessary to engage with your customer, to bring them into an environment that is completely new to them. Okay, so looking back, the relationship between publishers and consumers and brands has always kind of been the same thing. The publisher sits in the middle, or the media owner, they create content with the intention to attract an audience and build a community and then sell advertising on that site. Brands then come and try and place advertising within that community or within that brand to try and reach that community. So what we're seeing now is that that middleman is being cut out and the media owner is no longer necessarily meant to be there. So in the traditional world, magazines have been doing it for ages. Brands put out their own magazines with the intention of giving enriched content so that the content will drive you into the store or to buy the product or whatever it is. So what is the digital opportunity and why would brands consider moving into this space? Well, I think because we're in this wonderful area of digital, we have this amazing opportunity to engage with our customers. And that feedback cycle is instantaneous. You get an opportunity to communicate value and experience. So it's not just about the product and the price. You need to be able to use content to sell the value and experience that other people have had. When people are looking for, let's take fashion, and you want to see top trends and what's happening, instead of going to a publisher's site to see New York Fashion Week, why shouldn't you be seeing it on the site where you can buy the clothes? Social media. Social media is in overdrive, and social media is basically effective for one reason. You don't want to miss out, and what social media does is it influences people to be a part of something. So you need to understand when you're talking about your products as corporates or as an agency building for brands, you need to ride that social media wave. Also, you've got low barriers to entry. It's really very easy to move. You've already created the site, you've already got the CMS, you're already publishing content of a different form. Okay, so when it comes to publishing, the same rules apply. You can't let go to things that you did in the publishing world, and now just because you're sitting on the brand side, don't apply the things that we've learned in the publishing world over the last 10 years. So one, your site must be accessible, and that relates back to your search. How quickly can I find it? Make sure, whatever platform you're working with, that it's accessible. Make sure it's fast. Also, organization of the content. You might not have advertising, but the organization of your content must still apply. So where you position it, how the next steps work. Remember, more than 300 words online in an article, you've lost your reader. Remember, you've also got 30 seconds to engage, so make sure that what's sitting above the fold is above the fold and capturing your attention quickly. Navigation. I think that people forget. We're so used to focusing on it in the media and the world. But when it comes to navigation, remember, as a brand, you've got a much bigger offering to get across. It's not a single destination to offer one solution. You don't just offer a product to sell. No, you don't. It's also a marketing channel. You also have the corporate information that people love your brand and want to see. So how do you make sure they reach your destination and find what they're looking for? And content prioritizing and that navigation is critical to the success and conversion on your website. And again, usability. And test, test, test. So design. The aesthetic influence of a website is what you have to engage with your customer in those 3 seconds. So make sure that you adhere to your brand essence. And then consistency of your brand. Make sure you're consistent across every platform that you're running. So this is one of my absolute favorites. They did something really well by introducing this blog called Fashion Fix. And it's really effective, and what makes the site effective is that they've used content to actually drive sales. When you click on that image there, you basically go straight into the shop where you've got the list of the completed look, and you can check out within 3 steps. Net-a-Porter, their Twitter page, absolutely tells me nothing about what's on sale, what they're doing. I can't see any consistency in their message. All I can see is a hell of a lot of response and a hell of a lot of conversation. The conversation is irrelevant if you can't make it work for you. So yes, responding is one thing, but it's only worth something if you make the change happen afterwards and you actually do something about it. So content, again, the same rules apply. And that quality of journalism is coming back into play. Make investments into journalists who have gone through journalism environments and can introduce the quality back into content. So make sure you get an editor, because they're going to be running the face of that content. Make sure that your content is appropriate and relevant for your target audience. Take into account that you've got to adapt content to the device that you're working with. So short-form content for mobile, long-form content for devices. Think about where your audience is, understand where they are at that time, how much time they've got to consume that content. Ensure that you've got user interaction. This is the Starbucks website. I mean, basically, when you go to the Starbucks website, you don't really see anything about their products, but you fall so in love with the brand because of the stuff that they're doing with their content and what they're offering. And they're offering all forms of content, so video content, loads of user interaction, loads of feedback from customers where they're having Starbucks, so much so that they've brought out this thing called the Starbucks Digital Network. And the digital network is basically a content providing you with news content or whatever content that you want. They're aggregating content relevant to you as the customer sitting in their store, delivering it to you on wireless and allowing you to engage while drinking the Starbucks coffee. It's pure genius. So what are the steps to becoming a publisher? Well, as a starting point, you need to publish. And how do we do that? You need to look at what a CMS is. You need to understand when choosing your CMS platform, not just what you need now, but what you're going to need in the long term. So you need to consider how user-friendly is it. You need to make sure that it's optimized for search. How does it manage your assets? What are those images going to look like? How does it crop? How does it integrate images to multiple platforms? How does it customize to what you need? The bigger thing here was personalization. Is this content management system, does it enable you to personalize your content? And each person that's coming to your website wants a personalized experience. And also, how does the user interaction work? So this is when you're really giving a lot of thought to how you're going to really build a big online presence within a brand. And there are easier ways to get into publishing really quickly, and that's the joy of social media platforms. So you can be a publisher tomorrow on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, it doesn't really matter. It's really easy to get there. And you can publish your message within 140 characters within 15 minutes of setting an account. Engage. You need to fill it with content to engage your community. Don't fill it with content that is salesy content. It needs to be useful content that enriches the offering. You need to give them a reason to come to you, because remember, you're trying to get the people to come to you as opposed to going to those old media owners. So connect. Engage, we've got that. Listen and respond. So when you're out there and you're putting yourself out there in that environment, make sure you're actually responding to the things that your customers are saying. Also, the benefits of putting content and enriching your offering is that you're getting direct access to your customer information and your customer opinions. You do not get this in a better way than in digital, where your user responds directly to how they're feeling, both positive, though, and negative. Also, don't dominate the environment. Participate in the environment. Make sure that your customers or your readers are not threatened by what you're putting out there. And establish a trust relationship. While it is about the conversation, I believe that social media is more about the relationship. It's about the relationship that you've got with your customers, how much they trust you to deliver quality information. And remember, because we're in digital, we ask for a rapid response, rapid feedback. You must make sure that you give as rapid response. But if it's taking you 2 days to respond, you're not delivering what you promised. And finally, understand. So use real-time feedback to improve yourself. You're the one sitting at the heart of the customer conversation. So make sure that you use that to improve your offering. So better service, better product offering. Make use of the opportunity. So when we talk about new platforms and how we're going to do it, this is a big thing for me at the moment about how we move from this world of e-commerce into m-commerce and social commerce. So mobile content and social content is something that we've been talking about for a while. But for me, it's always about the money. So how do we make sure that we benefit from adding this content into these environments and into these platforms? Your considerations is that you have to ask yourself, are you reaching a wider audience? Is it a new customer that you're reaching or talking to? Or is it the same customer that you're talking to at a different time in a different place? Make sure you understand it, because that will identify how you deliver your content. Understand the cost versus the revenue. If you want to do this properly, if you want to build the wonderful content that delivers products and then transacts, it's an expensive investment. It requires patience, but the sales will come. Technical capabilities, and again, this talks back to that CMS. Whatever tools that you're using, make sure when you think about it up front that if mobile and social is a part of your journey, you incorporate those thoughts right up front. Design and usability, I've spoken about this before, but this is important that you carry this across. Don't only apply it to the web, apply it to everything else that you're doing. Same with interaction and integration, and do your homework. Understand where your market is. So, the good parts to be in mobile is obviously because of this massive adoption. It's cheap and it's easy to have a mobile phone. Also, it's interactive. Amazing opportunities exist within mobile to interact with your clients all the way through your customer journey, not just in terms of selling products online. It's really engaging, and it's personalized. Mobile phone and the wonderful operators, they give a whole lot of your personal information out. I know a whole lot more about my users on mobile than I know about the ones on the web. Make sure you connect the content with the information with the products. Never put content onto a mobile device, or on any device for that matter, where you're not thinking it through to something that's beneficial. And facilitate that exchange, enable it to happen. Why go into social commerce? Well, to be honest, it's because the crowd is here. You've got 4.2 million South Africans, a month sitting on Facebook. There's a consumer comfort level with Facebook transactions, so it's really weird. People are very scared to transact on your website, your mobile site, but for some reason they're so in love with Facebook and the Facebook story that they're not scared to transact. So integrate social media and e-commerce. So take it from one thing to the other. So understand that we've got social engagement. Now you want to go take it to social fulfillment, or social selling. So create a shopping experience within Facebook, but keep it really simple. Make sure that you have interactive wall posts. Make sure you integrate the Facebook wall posts into every other product that you've got or every other platform. So bring it across. Utilize YouTube and interactive video assets. Hashtag brand reviews. These work like a dream. Ask someone to rate your products, give them the hashtag in 140 characters. And offer exclusive opportunities for people to come online. Reward them for their success in coming into an environment that they're not comfortable with. ASOS is my favorite on Facebook. They drive the transaction through content. The content is relevant, it's half driven by the fans. It's really an awesome content experience and an awesome social media experience. But here comes the good stuff. You can actually, while you're looking at their content, click on it in the Facebook environment without leaving it. And you could go there and buy your product within 3 steps. So what this did for this company is that it increased their sales by 18% by moving that environment and completing that circle within Facebook. So Google's always going to be in the game. I mean, this is their Google product search, and this applies to any brand. If you're not getting your product or service listed within Google product search right now, and starting to plan for this, you're going to miss out. Because I can't think of why somebody who's looking to buy something is going to spend time trawling through websites to try and find their product when they can go onto Google, search it, and it basically brings up every shop within your location that's selling that product, does a price comparison for you, shows you the reviews, creates your shopping list, and you can check out. It's pretty beautiful and it works really well. But what you've got to be doing is no longer worrying just about SEO in terms of people finding your website. You're now going to be thinking about search and how people find your product. So finally, what's next? What does it take for a brand to be a publisher? I think you have to say, you've got to build that team with publisher experience. You need to think like a publisher, and you need to no longer attach it to something that's old school and standing over there like News24 and they're so good at it. You need to apply all the things that they've done into your business, which basically means you're opening up an entirely new area. You need to deliver best-of-breed content if you want to compete. Remember, media owners have been doing this in the digital space for years. You've got to follow the rules of publishing. So those are all the things that I was talking about in terms of content adaptability, usability, search. And you've got to use content to increase sales. But engage with people. Don't force it down their throat. Make sure you use this as an opportunity to engage, and then in turn make the transaction rather than forcing it. And that's it from me.